Hey guys, it's Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You probably wonder why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us and use Anchor. Welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, seen every Thursday, filmed out of Indie Music. Are we filmed?
We're filmed. You are being recorded.
But is film the right word nowadays?
Why? What's the right word? We're being videotaped? That's even ancient.
How about just recorded? We're recorded out of Indie Music TV.
We're being shot here.
Live out of Indie Music TV, where we're recorded every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. That sound better?
I feel so much better now.
Listen, I just don't want to sound too old, dude.
You don't want to sound too old?
No.
Good luck to you.
I want to thank everybody for joining us on this special show. We're kind of hyped about this show, guys, going into a wonderful week. Well,
yeah.
This is kind of exciting, but I want to give a few shout-outs to people. Right. We got Jeff Rumplick in the house. Jeff, the artist. We love him. Maria Davis. Miss Maria Davis, who wrote me today to tell me a few things, which I thought was...
To tell you a few things?
Very wonderful of her,
You're not going to share with me what the few things were? How do I know what these things
were? I will later on in the show. Oh. Phil's in the house. He says, great topic tonight, Phil. I can't wait to get into it. It's going to be great. Phil Switzerland is there.
I'm sorry, Phil.
Maria Davis, again, member for 11 months. Thank you so much. PJ in the house. PJ, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Always great to see you.
What is up?
So this week we're having, how could I say it, Pharaoh? The 10 greatest matches according to Monte and the Pharaoh.
These are. So in other words, it's the list.
Well, again,
you just made the list.
Before we get into it, I want to say it's what we feel are the great, and we're not on the same.
No,
we're not.
No,
but it doesn't necessarily have to be the
matches,
no.
Though. They're not my 10 favorite. Matches.
But wait a minute, it's got to be what meant a lot to you.
That's true,
right?
That's true.
First of all, it had to be seen by a decent audience, right? It has to be an important match. It can't be like a shit audience. I'm going to say that right now.
Tie that into a certain match, but go ahead.
Davio in the house. Greg R., how are you, buddy? Good to see you. So look forward to, Greg R. says, looking forward to see Dirty Dutch Mantel. Dude, we got a big lineup, especially on the 30th. We've got Doink.
Yeah.
And then we've got one of my, probably definitely in my top 10, Barry Windham.
He's definitely in your top 10.
All right, anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk all straight wrestling news, which we never do.
We're going to
We're going to talk some wrestling.
You don't have any news to read to me?
No news to read.
No idiots this week?
No idiots this week.
Oh, wow. What a free pass.
So the world is in an uproar because Walter's name has been changed to Gunther.
Stupidest thing ever. Stupidest thing ever.
Everybody's upset
and I'm in
about
an outrage. It's stupid. There was no reason for it. Let's call him Gunther.
Shut up, Vince. Every once in a while, someone's going to tell Vince he's lost it. What was the point? Does that look like a Gunther to you? All right, maybe he doesn't look like a Walter either, but for some reason, Walter fit. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I hate it. Now, go ahead. Tell me how Gunther is going to sell lots of T-shirts. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Before we were having a conversation before the beginning of the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you said, could you imagine Bob Backlund back in the day wrestling Gunther? And I go, yes.
No.
Better than Walter.
Not that way. No, that wouldn't.
Walter was such a great name. Walter was so good. It was such a great name.
It wasn't that. For some reason, in today's wrestling world, Walter works for this man. I can't explain it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about because they all know it because they're all mad. You don't change his name to Gunther.
Well, 802 says that, what do you call it, that Cody had a good crack to say about it in a promo.
See, here we go. Already. It's cannon fodder now.
Oh,
it's
my
terrible.
God.
What? I hope people are agreeing.
Dan Crusader can't wait for Dutch. I know. Look, dude,
okay.
I refuse to get upset because the guy changed his name to Gunther.
What about Gunther and the Pharaoh? There's no reason to change it. It works. Ladies and gentlemen, my partner, Gunther. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you gotta
what the fuck?
yeah,
of course he's laughing.
Gotta laugh.
That's funny. That's why.
You're getting laughs.
Why would you do that? Why? There's nothing wrong with it. If it was working, leave it the fuck alone.
Okay, what's working to you? Tell me what's working to you.
Walter's getting
NXT's killing it. It's
not
killing
about
it.
NXT. The guy's a wrestling god in London. NXT
His
is an
name is
afterthought.
Walter.
Yeah, so what? That was the whole charm of it.
I'll take
check
Gunther
out my
any
buddy.
day.
Don't you get it? Don't you get it? Don't you remember when my friend Harvey comes by? He'll talk to you guys. Harvey! Harvey's going to take a hold of us. I got a cousin bigger than your friend Harvey, you know? That's what Walter was. The name of Walter. Oh, yeah, who's going to get me, Walter? And then this monster walks in.
Oh, is that
it's
the gimmick?
Harvey from the Honeymooners.
Oh, well, now I understand. Now
Leave
I got
it
the whole
alone.
gimmick. Now I got the whole gimmick.
Just leave it alone.
I missed it the whole time.
I'm sorry
For
you
the
did.
last 2 years, I missed that entire.
I got it.
That was the punchline.
I got it the second I looked at him. I'm like, this guy's calling himself Walter. He's built like a giant. I thought it was
Very
hilarious.
interesting.
It
Very
worked.
interesting.
Gunther wouldn't have worked. That would have been like Gunther. Click.
Davio
It's
says,
almost like
did you read the
Dewdrop.
article that they are
Dewdrop,
scraping the
bad
name?
name.
First of all, it's a great name.
That's a terrible name, Dewdrop.
You're out of line.
Oh my God.
You're out of line.
She's a beast. Let's call it Dewdrop.
Look, all right, let me tell you something that bothered me.
the
All right,
frick?
so you know I'm such a great
What are
fan.
they smoking over there?
I'm a big fan of
Can I
Bully
have
Ray,
some?
right? Everybody
ahead.
knows how much I love Bully Ray.
Oh, yeah, you and Bully Ray. Oh, yeah, you're like a shit
So,
on a toilet seat.
You know,
Go
Bully
on.
Ray and LaGreca make a habit of making sure that they just trash NXT before AEW comes on that Thursday. But anyway, they're talking about NXT, and they're bitching about Walter Gunther. But then they go into the fact that NXT's a living joke now because the wrestlers are so green. Now they're calling their spots in the ring.
Yeah.
And you could see it on TV, and it looks really bad.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's a schlock fest. But this is what happens when you got gymnastic move number 1, gymnastic move number 10, gymnastic move number 17A. It's become a spot fest cartwheel marathon.
So
this is what you get.
So you agree
in
that
the old
it's
days
bad.
in the old days when they used to lock up and the pace was slower because it was two big dudes. Don't you remember how they would communicate? They'd grab each other, get close, and they'd say something to each other.
A lot of times
but
they
most of the time, you wouldn't even
They
catch
didn't
those
even
camera
have,
angles.
but they didn't even have to say things to each other. They pretty
almost
much had
didn't.
it.
They
But
almost
so,
had a dance
so
anyway.
here's my
So what am I
contradicting
agreeing
point.
with?
So you agree, and I get it, and it looks bad, and I'm not going to disagree with it.
it's lame.
So I disagree with you on the Walter thing. I do agree with what you said.
But you think that
But-
there was a good thing.
On the other hand,
This guy.
Bubba, who usually speaks with forked tongue,
Well, and pork
tongue, whatever, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
He claims that WWE has their own training center, which we know,
Yeah, sure,
right?
yeah,
Because they can't trust the poor, and you'll catch Flash Flanagan, who will be on tomorrow. You can't trust the poor wrestling schools that are around today, not like the old schools like the Johnny Rodz school or whatever else, right?
Right.
So
Right.
he says the only credible schools that the WWE looks at is Booker T's school
Fair. That's fair.
and
I would too.
Devon and Bubba Ray's school.
Right, because you're coming
Right.
through the. You're
So I
coming
ask
through
you
the
this,
experts.
Master Pharaoh.
Master Pharaoh.
If these people are training in these such wonderful schools like Bubba Ray claims that are coming out of his school,
Okay.
Aren't these the same fucking people that are talking to each other during the ring that you can see?
I wonder. I don't know. I don't know if those particular wrestlers you're speaking of.
No,
were
I'm
trained
telling
by-
you what this fat fucking clown said.
So wait a minute. He was making fun of the guys that he trained.
No, he wasn't making fun of him. He says you're ruining the business. He was all angry
they are
about
ruining
it.
the
Blah 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 blah.
business. It is
but I
terrible.
listened to him day to day
Yeah.
promote his school,
Right.
And that you could. But these
Oh,
wrestlers got to be coming from your school.
I will bet you at least 3 out of 10 are walking out of there and they suck. I'll bet you that, and I bet you Bubba still passes him because he needs the money.
PJ
okay, you're
says
wrestling now.
everyone
Go
seems
ahead.
to forget that wrestling is scripted. It's a gimmick, not real life. Let the
is?
heels be heels.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's scripted?
Of course it's scripted.
Wait a second. You mean it's fake? Oh God, I got to reevaluate my
Jeff
whole gimmick
Rumplet
now.
says Gunther the Hun, Gunther the Giant. No, just Gunther.
Now, what do you think they would have done with the Berserker if they had not called him the Berserker and taken that stupid thing?
I didn't see people getting mad about the Berserker, right?
Back
Such-
then it was cartoon
Such
land.
these great John Nord fans
Dude,
out
they
there,
get-
right?
They get crazy about everything nowadays. What are you talking about? They go.
My father loved the Berserker.
The Berserker was.
Loved him.
The
Loved him.
Berserker was a big, awesome dude, but I couldn't. It's cartoon land for me. It's just
Oh,
cartoon.
so then I'm canceling Doink.
Don't you dare.
I'm canceling it. It was
Doink
Cartoon
was?
Land.
Yeah, but he was an evil clown. There's a difference.
Not this Doink. This is Ray.
Oh, that was the
this is
nice
Ray-
clown.
This
Wait
is
a
Ray
minute, but
Apollo
I
Doink.
like Ray. Ray's cool. I want Ray to come anyway. So there. Wait, he's not bringing.
To my right is the
No
star of the
dicks.
show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. Jimmy Farrow belongs to the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall can be seen on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Please hit the like and subscribe.
So
And
polite. Do
Jimmy
it.
Farrow's partner is
Please.
the super musician, Mr. Bart Griggs.
Bartman. That's him.
I'm going to try. Can I do the Bart?
Yeah,
man?
absolutely. Go
No,
for
no,
it.
next week I'm going to do
Oh,
it.
you're gonna make me wait.
Listen to Wisteria Hall songs such as In My
Unbelievable.
Dreams, This Life,
Don't
Not
forget.
Far Behind, Here Comes a Rain. You can find their music on Spotify, Apple Music. I got to change the script. Reverb Nation. And if you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Catch us on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte The Pharaoh iHeart page.
Yes.
iHeart Radio page.
Spit it out.
Hear us on Spotify.
Yes.
Hear us on Anchor.
Yes, yes.
Catch us on the Monte The Pharaoh Twitch
yes,
TV fan page.
Yes. Paige.
And if you're lucky enough to live in New York, you can catch us on channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m.
Are we
and on
lucky?
Saturday at 11:30 p.m.
Are we lucky to live in New York? I always
If you get to watch Monte the Pharaoh, you are.
Wow, you just made that a slam dunk.
And then on channel 20, Tuesdays at 1 a.m.
That's my time.
And we want to thank Amazon Music with partnering up with Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. It's our honor to be part of it. We're very excited about the show. I can't wait to hear what the fans have to say and what their favorite matches are.
Oh, man.
It's going to be pretty wild.
I hope that they realize these are just opinions, and we don't get like what's his name, Underpants fan, like the Underpants fan. Oh, never mind. It's not Underpants. It was something else.
Undertaker fan.
I don't want Underpants fan to
You
write it
never
like,
want to say the names. Just say the
because
names.
they don't
Say it. Say
It's
it.
not for me to say the name.
We'll be right back with
Underpants
Monte the
fan.
Pharaoh present the 10 greatest matches in professional wrestling histories after this message.
See you in a second, and don't forget your underpants.
You want to star in your own success? Call Quickcast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. Quickcast.
Star in your own success.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, seen here only out of Indie Music TV, out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Greg R. says Bubba Ray is to wrestling what Rosie O'Donnell is to bikinis. Man, Rosie O'Donnell bikini. Big Busfetti, man. Welcome to level 2, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. So before we get into the topic of the show, I do want to discuss a few things that has been happening with our show. I wanted to share something with you.
Okay.
Quick discussion.
Go ahead.
So seems that we've made
What's he doing on the screen? Ugh.
we've made yet another enemy.
Good. Fine.
So recently, remember a little while back, John Arizzi was in here. We had
Who?
Your favorite John. Where's this book, by the way?
I threw it off the desk.
I know you're not a big fan.
I returned it to the library.
But John Arizzi was in here.
Well, you got to say goodbye to somebody after you spend 3 days with them. If you don't, I consider you a rude prick. Go ahead.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Now we know. Well, John, if you're watching, now you know.
How you doing,
why.
bud? That was rude.
So,
go ahead. It was.
You're right.
It was rude.
I'm not going to argue. You're
And
right.
That's that.
You did spend 3 days with the guy. He didn't even say goodbye.
Not even a goodbye.
Didn't even say goodbye.
And I know that I used deodorant that weekend, so it's not.
And he got free water out of it.
And I brushed my teeth and everything. So
All
it's
right.
not
So,
that
anyway.
good.
So I posted on Twitter a link to a video of Arizzi talking about Vince Russo, which is known, I guess, if you're somewhat know anything about the inner workings of behind the scenes of this wrestling nonsense.
Right.
And so, Arizzi.
How he infiltrated Arizzi.
To be
and
fair
then-
to
and then-
Arizzi, he was the godfather of pro wrestling,
Did a
meet
lot
and
of things.
greets, that type of stuff.
Absolutely. I will not deny
And
that for one
Russo ended up getting his little fangs into him
Sure.
and sucking his blood and ended up becoming a millionaire. And obviously, we know the whole story. So anyway, I posted I put the video on
Infiltration
Twitter.
followed by
Not a
masturbation.
big
He jerked
deal.
him
I
off.
post a
Right.
lot of videos that we do, a lot of clips from a lot of interviews and anything that we do on the show. So Mike Messier, who has a video he puts on once a week, we allow him on the channel.
AEW
and the keyword
apologist.
is allow. AEW
course.
apologist.
Of course.
He should be kissing our ass. He writes, when I put that, he said, he responded with, "Oh yeah, John Arizzi, isn't he the guy that helped Steve Austin with his promos and changed the face of wrestling?" Oh, no, that's not him. It was Vince Russo.
Got a point.
So I
have a
responded.
point.
I basically said,
point,
yeah,
Vince.
that's right. You're correct, Mike.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that Vince Russo, and I wrote, fuck John over,
Yes, he did.
took all the money,
Yes, he did.
and, we know how this all ended up.
Yeah, that's no secret.
And, one day Karma will get that ass. Right? That's all I wrote.
Probably already has, but that's okay.
Nah, he's still alive.
What? Okay. All right. I
just
see.
call
the way we're
facts
driving.
facts,
I
right?
see how we're driving this truck. Okay. I haven't jumped out.
All right,
Keep
so
going. I'm with you.
Arizzi
Gotcha.
responds back.
Okay.
John
John Arizzi responded very.
Yeah, he
interesting.
responds back.
Okay.
Me and Vince are very close friends now.
Did he say goodbye to me on that?
No, he
on that
didn't.
message?
It's a good point. No, he did.
So
No.
I consider his opinion meaningless and shit.
Well, they are friends now. They're friends.
Oh, I'm sure they
Forgiveness.
are. Didn't we just see them at Burger Buddy? Wasn't that them in the corner playing tonsil hockey?
So
I think you got the wrong two guys.
don't make me laugh.
I think that it's just public bullshit. I don't think that they're best buddies.
Well, whatever the case is, right?
I
It's
just don't want
not.
anybody talking about what happened all those years ago. It's like, oh, stop, let it go, let it go, let it go. Why not? You don't let anything go. Why should we?
He wrote, "There's no hatred between me and Vince, and I none. Years pass, wounds heal.
All right, that's
I
fine.
would consider Vince a friend." And then Vince wrote back, 100% whatever. So Russo responds back to Monte The Pharaoh.
You put them together. They're buddies now.
They're friends
Good
now.
job, Mike.
Thank you.
You've done it.
Thank you. Give
You
me
are
credit.
the olive
But
branch.
Russo responded back.
Did they say thank you?
No, Russo responded
Guys are
back.
rude.
I'm going to tell you what Russo responded.
Okay, what did he have to say for himself?
He put back,
Did he
I
start with
doubt
bro?
John.
Did it start with bro?
No, he did put a bro in there.
Okay, fine.
He goes, I doubt John would feel the same. And to talk about karma, I wouldn't worry about karma because the day I worry about karma is the day that you're not a fucking mark.
Says the guy who was in the Blockbuster video or whatever video store he had trying to get his mark ass into the business. Bro, just because you made it, bro, and became successful, bro, doesn't mean that you're no longer a mark for the sport that you obviously fucking butt love, bro.
Butt love?
I butt love it too. Okay, so I guess we're
Wait a minute,
both
what is
marks.
butt
You're
love?
just a famous mark.
Hold on.
So fuck you with your demeaning bullshit.
What
fuck
is
you,
butt
bro.
love?
Bro. What was that?
What is butt love?
He butt loves pro wrestling. He was probably humping his VCR
Dude,
tapes
I didn't want-
before he was famous. And he told Arizzi, if you tell on me, I'm going to fuck you over. So Arizzi was probably ready to let that scandalous thing
Wait,
out onto
I want to
into the
understand,
free world.
how does Arizzi forgive him?
I
right?
wouldn't.
Because Russo put in
But I'm not a
paper,
nice guy,
Russo
so-
put in his book that Arizzi lived with his mom his whole life and made fun of him.
That's great. I would eternally.
How is that forgivable?
I would eternally want to.
It's in print for the rest of eternal
I would
life.
eternally want to punch you in the face
Thank
over
you.
and over again until I need a new fist. How's that sound? And I'd order one from Michigan and use the replacement to beat you some more.
I gotta ask.
What the fuck?
I got a friend of ours, Mitch, in the studio. Mitch, real quick, if someone put that in a book for millions of people to see, could you forgive that? Thank you.
That was a hearty no for those of you who did not pick that up on the microphone. Thank you. There it is.
But
from Mitch.
John Arizzi's all forgiven.
Bullshit. He doesn't even say goodbye after 3 days of being nice to you. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I hope you choked on that ham bone.
I hope John forgives all the hot dogs that he ate.
And meanwhile, those two idiots are going to go, they're going to get all mad at us and shit. Hey, don't be such a mark. It's a shtick, asshole.
Anyway.
Or is it?
This is some upsetting news. Maria.
Or is it?
Maria, this is for you. I've got some sad news, so I want everybody to listen up.
What?
Our friend Hannibal, I've got some inside news.
He fell and hurt his tum-tum?
No, it's worse than that.
He stubbed his toe.
It's worse than that.
He's got, he's got acne.
See, you're not taking my conversation seriously.
Not at all.
No,
What's wrong with Hannibal? We know everything is wrong with him.
No,
He puts the lotion
it's bad news.
What? What do you mean?
Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
You know the girl he keeps making out with on all those videos, the hot chick?
Yeah.
In the shower. You saw that whole video, whatever, right?
What happened?
She dumped him.
What'd she take off Blood Hunter's mask?
From what?
Saw what was there?
See, I'm in the biz. I'm in the biz.
You've been shocked by Rip Rogers?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You're not in the biz.
No, that's
You've
right.
been shocked by Rip Rogers.
You're right.
What's
I forgot.
Wrong with you? Okay, go
But
ahead.
inside information is that Blaze could not handle the hate that Hannibal was getting for hacking up that poor old. I'm going to correct myself, fans out there, because I know a lot of people got angry when I called him a kid.
Even though you got a couple of decades.
I know.
On,
I'm fucking 80 years older than a guy.
There's something wrong with you for referring to someone 21, 22 years younger than you as a kid.
No,
how dare you?
So for hacking that old man, Blaze could not handle the pressure, and she dumped him.
Nice. I hope that the gimmick was worth it. Way to go there. I mean, I thought he was trying to, blade her down.
Yes, Maria, I'm
intimate
serious.
moments,
Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
Okay, good.
Do you think that?
I heard she might be.
See you,
interested.
Jeff.
I heard she might be interested in dating the referee.
Do you think?
Is that true?
Do you think? Wait a minute. I want to set the picture. Do you think the problem was probably Blaze was getting all sexy, taking her clothes off, oiling that hot
and then he
body
tried
up?
to gig her?
No, but then she's looking. Where's Hannibal? She gets out the door, and she looks in his room, and there's Hannibal rocking back and forth. Watch my podcast. Watch my podcast. And he's just repeating it to himself.
But next to him is there lotion and a basket.
Yes.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And then Blaze, hold on.
Okay. I'm with you.
In the small apartment Hannibal works out of, because that's all he could afford. We all know this.
The picture.
He lives in a 2-room apartment in Canada.
Yes, okay.
But in this apartment, there's this giant hole with a bucket. And there's bones of dead people. And Blaze saw this, and Blaze ran out of town.
He's the blood hunter.
Blaze blows. Blaze blew and blazed.
Yeah, she blew out of there like shit through a goose. Yeah. He's a little bit off. What's he gonna do now? What's his next thing? He's got to do something to get some attention. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna rock back and forth.
Do you think he's crying at night? Blaze,
maybe they should show the deep hole in his room. People would be.
Do you think he has his
get a lot of views.
Maria? He probably has that cup that you bought from him of him and Blaze.
What?
Maria told me she bought a cup from Hannibal of Blaze and Hannibal. No, Blood Hunter. I'm sorry. Don't piss Hannibal off.
Yeah, it's Blood Hunter.
It's Blood Hunter.
Wait a minute, he's not the Blood Hunter. We don't know who the Blood Hunter is.
Well, whatever.
Don't kill the gimmick.
Do you think Hannibal sits there with his Blaze and a Blood Hunter cup just rocking back and forth?
How do we know he didn't have the mask on during intimate times? Maybe she was like, "Take the fucking mask off, weirdo." We don't know. It's very possible. And
Come
then
here,
he's looking at
Blaze.
it,
Have
like,
sex with
yeah,
Blood
like,
Hunter.
he throws the mask on. He goes, "I'm going to put the lotion in the basket." I'd be like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" Oh my god.
802 says he owes her for a dress he ruined with blood.
Probably. Are these your?
Chris Lee says Abdul. Chris Lee says Abdul is in the hole.
Yelling up to us. Where's my check? I just want my
Very
check.
funny. Very funny.
Come on.
Very funny.
That's unbelievable.
So Hannibal, listen, guys, please say prayers for Hannibal. We feel terrible. that Blaze has dumped him and hurt him. And wait a minute, Triple A says Hannibal is known as the Liberace of Canadian wrestling.
You know what I think we should pray for? Guys, I want you to put your hands together in a deep moment of prayer. Please pray for all these idiots who actually made it in this business and are the biggest jackasses on the planet. Let's.
Amen.
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 Yeah.
Amen.
He's pot and microdot. Amen.
But Maria, we love you.
Oh, my
we
God.
love you, and thank you for that message today. There's
Maria's the best.
She is the best.
She is. By the way, her promo skills are way better than half the folks I see on television.
She's better than Hannibal.
She's way better talking than Hannibal.
And she's better looking than Blaze. How's that?
Oh, come on now. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. She should be doing her own promo. She's a better talker than Maria Davis is a better talker than half these people in the business.
You know what I was thinking about?
Period.
Hannibal put you probably saw it. He put up. People see the video. He put up a video.
You think I watch other channels?
Probably not.
Go on.
But anyway, there's a quick clip of Hannibal like doing a shot on some girl's chest with lime, and he makes out with her. And I'm like, why is he posting that if he's with Blaze? And then I found out Blaze dumped him. So that's his way of getting back at Blaze.
Oh.
I will teach Blaze a lesson. Other women like me.
Yeah. He should have put the lime in the coconut. Why is he putting the
Lime in a coconut.
Sorry.
Very good. All right, we'll be back after this quick commercial break where we're going to hit the top 10 greatest matches. Guys, get your greatest matches ready. Let's see where we all match up. Feel free to attack all of Pharaoh's choices because I'm sure they're not good, but you'll know Monty's are really good.
Stay tuned for the 10 of the most ridiculous picks ever with this guy next to me. See you in a second.
Hi, it's Josh from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Pharaoh.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn. And you're back. We're back. Good night. Was that good enough? Did I do good?
Welcome back to
Wait
Long
a
Island's
minute.
World Pro Wrestling Broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, where our producers warned us not to go over time tonight.
Hey, look. He's a great producer, and he's just enforcing his...
But wait a minute, we started at 9:08. Just
we?
saying.
Did we? All right. We'll try.
Roy and Batista,
Maddie, don't
welcome.
punish us, Maddie.
All right, let's hit it, bro. Top 10 greatest matches. So we're going to open up with your number 10. So 10 being...
My number 10?
10 being the 10.
Yeah.
1 being the 1.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
What do you got?
Okay, what do I got? I have to look over here, folks, because I'm blind.
Yeah, I'm going to turn
I'm
this
gonna
a
go.
little
I'm
bit.
gonna go at number 10. The Omega Okada, Kenny Omega, and of course Okada from New Japan. Their trilogy. I'd like to go with the second match, most likely. They had a trilogy of matches that. Now, some of the matches on this list will be entertainment first, or spectacle, if you will, and other matches will just be for the sport itself. This, in my opinion, is probably the greatest sport approach towards a match you could ever have. These guys went for 3 matches. They absolutely murdered each other, and it wasn't a cartwheel fest. It was very, very physical, and they really went at it. I've never seen anything like this. By the time the trilogy was done, I felt like I had watched basically the Star Wars trilogy. I was amazed by it. Mike, I know that's something I don't even know if you've ever seen the matches.
No.
'Cause I know that New Japan's not your thing, but I was a subscriber for many years to New Japan, and I absolutely love that trilogy. It's the
By the way,
pinnacle.
Dan Crusader says Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter. I knew he was... Me and him had something. One of your most hated matches, which I love.
My host most hated?
Hulk Hogan Slaughter?
I saw Hogan Slaughter.
But you
at the
hated that.
At the Comac Arena.
No, bro. The WrestleMania match.
Oh, that I hated.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But
hated
I
it.
liked it.
Yeah,
But that's one of
I
his
hated
favorites.
it because I felt it was past.
All right, so I'm going to
time
quickly
do that.
listen. I can't disagree with if you're a wrestling fan.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing
It's a
to
good
watch.
match.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
At my
All
number
three of them.
10, I just put Flair Steamboat Trilogy only
Understood.
because.
Probably for similar reasons in some way.
Well, only because,
wrestling
you know
clinic.
what, God forbid I didn't mention it.
Is that why you put it
yes,
on?
because
Wait,
people go,
wait a
the
second.
fuck didn't he mention Flair Steamboat?
So your number 10 is just a token pick? What
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
It is, 'cause
This
I have to.
I sit there all day and worry about whether or not my picks are going to be worthy of picking, and you're doing a token pick?
I had to.
That's rough.
Sorry,
man.
guys.
You know what? For all you marks out there, he appeased you. Now shut the fuck up. Anyway.
Triple A says, Monte The Pharaoh, best live show going. Thank you, Triple A.
Thank you,
Really
thank
appreciate
you,
it.
thank
Oh, my
you.
God. Don the Barber, Tick 1. Benoit versus Booker, best of 7. I can't, listen,
Shit.
Don.
That shit was great.
No,
It was.
I can't
But I know.
put Benoit
No,
in
Benoit,
anything.
Benoit's not on my list either for obvious reasons. I'm sorry. I
Stinger
can't
says
do
no
it.
Omega matches are real. They're a botch fest.
Oh, Omega versus Okada.
Kind of
Check
like
out those
that,
three.
Stinger.
I
Don,
understand.
I understand what you put, but I got to stay away from the Benoit
Yeah,
thing.
we
I just
tend
can't.
to say F you.
All right, so my number 9
I
is
get
Bret
it.
Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, the submission match, Wrestlemania 13. The reason I picked that as number 9 is because what it did for the industry, right? That was the entrance way into the Attitude Era
Right.
and the growth of Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
The ending was epic from the point from him passing out from the blood.
That drove his badassery home.
Absolutely.
He's not a badass until that happens. When that happened, he had the badassery, or trademarked. He was Stone Cold.
Your number 9?
My number 9. My number 9 is the infamous match between the Undertaker and Mankind.
No, it is not.
What
Sorry,
is it?
sir.
You
It
see how
is
blind I am?
Warrior Hogan.
Oh, never mind. You already said it. My number 9 is Warrior Hogan. See what happens when I don't have a script? My number 9 is Warrior Hogan. I obviously believe it belongs in the top 10. I'm not talking about quality of match or flip-flop fest or whatever the hell skills you're looking for. This was a spectacle. This was the 2 biggest stars in the business. Warrior's star shone as brightly as anybody's star has ever shown in this business. And I still remember a full room of people watching this match, and only one person in the whole room was rooting for Hulk Hogan. How you doing, folks? That was me. And I still remember when Warrior won the match, everyone was celebrating and going wild, and I thought to myself, he's not the changing of
Stingers,
the guard.
which one did you like? Did you like the Warrior Hogan or you like the Austin Bret Hart? Again, both great matches, right? So Phil says Bret Hart, Austin passing out the sharpshooter. Davio says Ric Flair, Tatsumi Fujinami,
That's
Fall Brawl.
cool.
That is a
was
good pick,
great
man.
Great pick.
Oh, Chris Lee says Mike Monty versus Marty Jannetty in studio.
Yeah, didn't I do a run-in?
You did a
during
run-in.
that? I did a run-in during that. Yeah,
It's in the top 20.
That was it's better than the shit I see on TV now.
Greg R says Eddie Gilbert versus Cactus Jack, best
Sure,
of 3
why
in
not?
Philly.
That's fucking cool.
802 says when Warrior beat Hogan, huge too.
Yeah, it was, but I gotta ram this one home. When I was the only one in the room going, this is not the changing of the guard, and everybody was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, Hulk Hogan is still pro wrestling. I'm sorry, and it turned out to be right because Warrior's moment was then. Warrior's moment faded. Hogan went on to the NWO. We all know what Hogan continued to do. So I was the only one in the room, kind of like historically going, "Okay, something major just happened. 2 legends. They're obviously both going to be legends," but I'm like, "But this is Hogan's business."
It was one of the first
I was like,
matches
this
of its
is a-
kind.
Warrior's
It's a really good pick by you because it is one of the
That was
face
huge.
versus face matches that
was
really had,
huge. That was huge.
All right, so you're number 8.
Now can I say it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It was the match between Undertaker and Mankind where I swore to God that Mankind was dead. I mean, he throws him off the cell. He throws him through the cell. It's like
Singer says both great matches.
I mean,
Great.
the tooth coming out of there's a tooth coming out of Mankind's nose. I mean, it was just the most insane thing I've ever seen, and obviously it upped the ante, and everybody wanted to try killing themselves after that.
Scott Frenensky, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sure I'm not, but Owen and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10. Listen, that could be on anyone's top 10. Can't disagree. I don't know if it's on ours.
Right.
We're going to find out.
Owen and Bret, wow.
James Earl says, what's happening, everybody? Good
What's
stuff.
up? What is up, James?
All right,
Earl?
so my number 8 is Mankind versus The Rock, WWE Championship, I Quit match, Royal Rumble 1999.
Did I ever tell you how Mankind yelled at me over this? Over
No.
this match?
Go ahead.
I was lucky enough. I don't know why, but Mick Foley, and this was during the Attitude Era. He had just put out "Have a Nice Day," the book that was fabulous, by the way, and he was making an appearance at the library right down the block from where I lived. And I thought to myself, I don't think anybody even realizes that Mick Foley's going to be at my library. So I went there, and he talked for like an hour, and there must have been maybe 10 of us. 10 of us. This is during the Attitude Era. You would think that this would have been chaos. But there he was. I had an ECW shirt on and everything. And he was really cool. It was great to listen to him. But I went up to him after, and I had not read the book yet. I had just bought it, so I wanted him to sign it. And I went up with the book, and I didn't know what was in the book yet. And I said to him, I said, I'm telling you, the craziest thing I've ever seen you do, I said, believe it or not, wasn't when you got thrown off the cage. I said it was that match with The Rock when he kept hitting you with the chair. Because I was literally standing there going, please stop hitting him. So I said this to Mick. I was like, that was insane. And Mick, apparently, in the book, mentioned that that match almost ended everything because his family was crying. His kids were crying. He said, I promised to them I'll never do this again. He was hit with that chair. How many times?
I will tell you this,
so
right?
Mick was actually
my
mad at
wife
me
wife who is not a wrestling
I was like,
fan,
sorry.
right? But
Yeah.
wrestling was hot that
was
time,
so
so she
brutal.
would sit and watch pay-per-views with me.
Yeah.
This is how important this match was, or how great it was.
Yeah.
My wife says to me, "Please turn this off."
She couldn't take the violence.
She could not take the violence.
I tell you.
So forget all these blood matches.
It was ridiculous.
All these barbed wire
brutal.
bullshit.
It was brutal.
That match
The
was
headaches are
unbelievable.
terrible. Yeah. I mean, if it's
All right.
someone who loves Rob Zombie's Halloween, yeah, it was too much.
Number 7
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
It could easily be my number 1.
Okay.
The War to Settle the Score, Madison Square Garden, February 18th, 1985.
So great.
It was the spark that lit, and I've discussed this before.
Yeah.
I was there live.
Yeah.
I still could watch that match to this day.
I got goosebumps.
I get goosebumps.
I got them now.
Again, if anyone hasn't seen that match, the way Hogan and Piper, they're in each other's corner. You got to remember, back then, too, it was like they're going to have this match, and Piper won't have the match unless Hogan puts the belt up. The WWF doesn't want Hogan to put the belt up against Piper because they're afraid Piper's going to beat it. The whole storyline.
Yeah.
But when they're finally going to have it, you could feel this eruption of these two wrestlers.
Oh, my God.
And believe me, neither one was the greatest wrestler of all time.
Doesn't matter.
But boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah,
match.
yeah. Superstars.
You got number 7?
Nothing like it. As you blink off my screen. Number 7 for me is not a match, but it is a match. I'm going to go with the 92 Royal Rumble. Ric Flair winning the 92 Royal Rumble. That is the greatest Royal Rumble in the history of it. And by the way, the Royal Rumble is my favorite event. I love it the most. This is just the greatest Royal Rumble in the history of this business. And what Ric Flair, I think he came in at the number 3 spot, survived the whole hour. And on top of it, not only was Flair's performance legendary, but even more legendary was the great Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. If you've never watched this match, go back, watch the 92 Royal Rumble, and listen to Bobby Heenan, and you will piss yourself. Bobby Heenan was hilarious. I don't know how well you remember.
No, I do.
But,
I do.
You know, he had said he was claiming he had, put down his house as part of his
Phil-
gamble that Ric Flair would win.
Phil says he remembers the VCRing War to Sell Score. Don the Barber, Razor Ramon versus Shawn in the ladder match.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Ed Gill Stone, Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, I Quit match. These are all great matches,
Sure.
guys. Let's see where they
Absolutely.
fall up on our list.
Absolutely.
Number 5, you got.
Number 5? Number 5. I'm going to go with from Wembley Stadium. I believe that was a SummerSlam. Bret Hart
Great
and,
match.
and the
Great
British
match.
Bulldog. Honestly, to me, that's where Bret Hart became a star. I know it was Bulldog's country and moment, but that's when Bret Hart really became a star in my mind. What a clinic that was. That was just magic. You don't see too much of that
Dude, when
anymore.
Bulldog won that title, when the Intercontinental title meant something,
Right.
it's a great pick, dude.
Yeah.
It's not on my list, but it's hard to argue that pick.
It's two tacticians at their best.
I've got number 6. To me, it's probably one of the most important wrestling matches in the history of wrestling. Is Kerry Von Erich winning the NWA title from
Boy, do you love Kerry
Ric
Von Erich.
Flair
Why?
in May of '84.
I just got to ask, what makes you put this in the top 10 greatest matches of all? Is it more just a personal thing for you?
Well, it's a personal, but it's also David Von Erich had passed away.
Right.
It was that
Right.
David was the heir apparent.
David was supposedly.
Kerry
right.
to me was always the bigger star, but
Yes.
a lot of people disagree.
David, you know what? If they disagree with that, they're rewriting history. Okay, because David was on his way, and when he passed away, he was the biggest member of the Von Erich
Right.
family. But he passed away.
Right.
Kerry did become the biggest star in the family. Regardless, he did. Kerry was a bigger star at the end of the day, but that's only because David's life was cut short. It's not a knock.
Right.
It's a fact.
It's a fact, yeah.
That's all there is to it.
I just also, again, we were WWE guys. We only got our information from the magazines, right? And that's all we knew.
And UHF.
But we knew how big it was when Kerry Von Erich defeated Ric Flair for that title.
I went nuts when Tommy Rich held it for 5 days.
Well, that's true.
Quite honestly.
That's true.
You know?
All right, number 5, I'm going with WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Orndorff and Piper. This has got to be on everybody's list because this is what changed wrestling, at least in my opinion. Not the greatest match of all time.
It's the beginning.
But it's a start. What do you got?
It's definitely a start. I'm going to go with Austin and Rock from probably the greatest WrestleMania of them all, WrestleMania 17. I mean, I loved all the Austin and Rock matches, but this, of course, was when Stone Cold suddenly found himself buddying up with the evil Mr. McMahon. I found this to be pretty damn legendary, pretty damn amazing, and very, very, very memorable. And it involves the 2 biggest stars of the Attitude Era. So it's definitely got to count for something.
It's again, a lot of these it's hard to argue any of these matches right now.
Yeah.
So number 4, you've got. You've got.
Looks like I got.
We got a little match up there. Yeah. Finally, we've met minds
I got
here.
Hart and Austin from WrestleMania. I think that's 13. If I'm not
and then number 4, I've got Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage.
That's WrestleMania 5.
That is WrestleMania 5.
Damn, was that to me? That was the greatest storyline we've ever seen. That's just my opinion. But the storyline between Hogan and Savage and the jealousy and the Elizabeth thing and everything like that and how long it played out and, you know. I tell you, man, when I do look back, and you know we both love Hulk Hogan, but Macho Man had to be pretty pissed sometimes. It seemed like, you know, he was always going to be, you know, underneath. And, it is what it is, but it seemed like he was always going to be a little bit underneath.
Davio says Bruno versus Stan Hansen, Piper versus Valentine, dog collar match.
That's fantastic. The Piper Valentine match, especially the beginning when they're tugging at each other with their necks. And they're attached to those dog collars. That was absolutely fabulous.
Phil says Goldberg beating Hogan in the Georgia Dome. Hard to argue. These matches are very hard to argue.
Phil? Good for you. I'm glad you said that. That is one of the most it's not on my list, but that is one of my favorite all-time matches, and I'm a Hogan fan. I was rooting for Goldberg.
Chris Lee.
So, by the way, does that make me a bad guy?
No. Chris Lee's reported AEW star Nyla Rose tested positive for AIDS. COVID-19. I apologize.
Oy. I thought
I read that wrong.
Going to test positive for a Big Bite from 7-Eleven. I'm sorry.
Not good.
I'm not proper.
Hello.
I'm improper. Go ahead.
All right. Now, my number 3 is Mankind versus The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell. So we've met our way here.
Yeah, we've got a couple there.
And here you go. At number 3, you've got.
Where am I? What is that? That's small. I can't see that.
Steamboat Flair.
Oh, you know what? You even disrespect them when you type it out. You put that like
it's hard
it's
for
like
me, brother.
Hogan versus that. It's Steamboat versus Flair. Get these little. You should see this, folks. It's like these tiny little words. I can't make that out. Steamboat Flair was freaking fantastic. Quit picking on those.
ESO Hogan Orndorff cage match on Saturday night's main event.
Hey,
how about the big event, by the way?
How come Bundy breaking Hogan's ribs is not on your list? Do you know what you know?
It's
the
on
date,
my
list.
Yeah, that is on my list, but it just can't make the top 10 as much as I'd like it to be.
I mean, like, honey,
all right, so this is where we start where we start meeting together here.
Okay.
So we both chose at number 2 Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
How can you not love this deal? Both matches.
Storyline.
Both matches were absolutely incredible. I think they had back-to-back and belly-to-bellies, but man, oh man.
Back-to-back and belly-to-belly.
Yeah, I had to do a little John Sterling there. Just unbelievable. I mean, they couldn't have been more great together, and they couldn't have been more different in their styles, and that their styles came together like bacon and eggs. Man, that's a good breakfast. What a great freaking match.
Phil brings up Tiger Mask versus Dynamite Kid.
Phil. Hell's yeah. Amazing.
No, everybody brings up.
And you know what? I thought it then, to be very fair. When I was watching it back as a kid and watching that and seeing the way they were flipping around, I was like,
wait a minute. This one's a good one. Jason Moaning says, the Genius beats Hogan on Saturday night's main event. We spoke about that with Lanny.
That was great.
That was a great moment.
I love that. That's a great match.
Piper dropping, Edgar Sohn says, Piper dropping the IC belt to Bret Hart. Yeah.
How about Valentine dropping the belt and then ripping it to a million wrecking it.
All great matches, just can't be on the top 10.
Yeah.
All right, so the all-time number one, drum roll, please. Hit it.
Oh, it's so obvious. The greatest spectacle that ever happened, the thing that introduced the world to wrestling on a mass scale, on a mass public scale, was Hogan and Andre. WrestleMania 3 in front of 93,000 people. It wasn't 93,000. I don't want to effing hear it, okay? It was in a giant stadium with a kabillion people on a pay-per-view. We had never seen anything like this before. Hollywood, the bright lights, the spectacle, the merchandising, the ratings, everything. Hogan, Andre, period. I don't care about your cartwheels. I don't care about your fancy arm bars or your wrist locks or your head. Hogan, fucking Andre. Nothing bigger. What say you? Got to agree with that. Nothing bigger.
You said it all.
Sorry.
And if anyone, all right, I was in the military, and you used to get your tapes sent to you from my family. Would tape
the old
it,
VHS tape,
and it
sure.
would take you
A
weeks
while.
to get
Right.
it by mail. I was in Germany, and when that tape arrived, the whole fucking battalion. We put that tape in.
Yep.
And again, guys, I mean, it's good to be alive and to be able to see that spectacle. And I tell you all the time, I could watch that Andre the Giant documentary.
Yeah, it never gets tired.
And I'll mention this guy that was on our old station. He makes documentaries, supposedly. And he was complaining about the documentary that he thought that, how dare they make it about Hulk Hogan? And I remember, Jimmy, you got pissed and you said, dude, you can't talk about Andre the Giant unless you're talking about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. That match made Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was famous, right? We all know everything he did. Bigfoot, all the shit he was doing. But that match
made him even huger.
That match made Andre the Giant.
I mean,
it didn't just make Hulk Hogan. It made Andre the Giant.
Not to tear apart that stupidity of, I can't believe they made the Andre the Giant thing about Hulk Hogan. Look, if you go to watch a biography on Lou Gehrig, I can't believe they talked about Babe Ruth.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Are you high? Oh, did you see the thing about Paul McCartney? I can't believe they spent 20 minutes on John Lennon.
Hey,
are you stupid?
Ted DiBiase.
It all goes together.
Ted DiBiase sat across on that couch, and we said, DiBiase, do you realize that Friday night's main event drew as many people as, I think, half the Super Bowls at that time?
Right.
This is a wrestling show on a
it
Friday
actually had
night.
A Super Bowl type rating. It had a
Yes.
15 point something or other.
And why did that happen?
15!
Because of WrestleMania 3.
You know what's hilarious? The people who will criticize our pick for the Hogan Andre thing are the people who think that AEW is taking over the world with their 1 rating.
Oh,
This
bro,
was
by the way,
15!
By the way, we
What are
didn't.
you talking?
I'm almost
Oy, my
shocked
blood
right now.
pressure.
We
Wait a
forgot
second.
to put Steamboat Savage. It fell off our list, dude.
That's because I hate the fucking ending and I did it on purpose.
Did you really?
I am one of the only people who'll say it till the end of time. I think it was an amazing match, but I hate the fucking ending.
I'm gonna tell
George
you-
Steele fucking interfered.
Can I tell
It
you
was
why?
Bullshit.
Can I
that
tell you why
ending.
it fell off?
Savage should have won. My blood pressure's flying.
Can I tell you why it fell off mine?
Savage should have won.
Because it lost its glitter with me.
How come?
Because all the bad talk about it, the scripted talking about it, like I love that match.
Yeah.
But it all of a sudden hasn't lasted
That's interesting.
It
I still
hasn't
think
lasted
it's a great
the
match,
tale of time
but
anymore.
I've always hated the ending. I hated it then. I hated the ending then. You know, with George Steele getting involved and Savage losing the belt to Steamboat. I couldn't stand it, but that's just me. See, my rooting interest, it goes to show how much I passionately, really, truly love wrestling.
Wait a minute.
I root.
Before we cut out,
And if they don't
Don
give me
the
what I want,
Barber,
I hate it.
Don the Barber's a little pissed off. He said, enough of this Hulk Hogan Andre talk.
Oh, jeez.
Where does the Blood Hunter rank?
Don the Barber's not pissed off. He's feeding right into us. What you gonna do, brother, when the blood hunter drops the lotion in the basket on you, dude?
Wait a minute. Phil says Pedro getting the IC belt from Morocco. That was one of the worst days in the history
That
of
sucked.
professional wrestling.
I hated that.
Phil, you're punished.
Oh, I hated when Pedro.
All right. Anyway, guys, we don't want to
Wait
run.
a minute. How could we forget Snooker and Morocco, or Snooker and Backlund?
Wow.
Wow, we're punished.
We should be
We're
punished.
gonna go to our rooms and we'll talk to Phil.
Wait a minute. I want to look at my list. Who did I?
We gotta change.
Steamboat Flair. Get that shit out
Would
of
you
there.
stop picking on Steamboat and Flair?
Who else do I get out
You
of
think
here?
I was going to put
It's
Steamboat
hard for me to
twice
knock
on that
anybody
list?
off this
No,
list
you
besides
can't.
that, dude. It's
I'm
like, what do you
surprised,
do?
though. I figured Snooker Morocco would be on your list somewhere.
All right, anyway, we've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, filmed out of Indie Music TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. I want to thank everybody for
Better be 10
joining us.
p.m.
And Maddie, we're on time. Does that make you feel good? Hey, Mitch, come up here. We want to send you. Come up here. Get us
These
out. Send us
cameras
out.
don't
Come
do that.
on.
Look at that. Oh,
Guys, we want to thank you. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed our picks. It was fun. Donna Barber TLC won, of course. There's so many now. I feel
Don
like
the Barber, that was almost on my
people are
list.
saying Lawler versus Andy Kaufman.
That was freaking great.
Bubba Ray versus Mae Young. Anything with Bubba Ray is a shit.
Hogan
Versus the Sheik.
That should be on the top 10.
There you go.
That was the match that put Hogan. Come on, let's be honest.
Iran, number one. Number one.
Wait a minute, Mitch. Someone just said Blood Hunter is the longest reigning Texas champion in history of wrestling.
Oh, give Devin a break.
I got 2 words for the longest reigning Texas champion in history. Stan Hansen. Get the hell out of here.
All right, we'll see.
That's Texas.
We'll see you guys next.
Motion in the basket is Texas. I thought he's
Chris
from
Travis
Canada.
says, "What you gonna do when the Blood Hunter and his Golden Spike run wild on you, brother?" Anyway, we'll see you guys
long
next
as it's not a
Thursday,
golden
and let's
shower.
not forget on the 30th we've got 4 Horsemen, Barry Windham in studio, but before that will be Doink the Clown.
Cool.
Have a good night, everybody. Be safe. This has been Mike Monty.
This is the Pharaoh, and until next time, as always, later.